we're covering broad issues in hip hop, what about like that word? Let's call it the N word. Is there ever a time that? How do you feel about it? Is it a word that you use?
I do not use it.
It's
all.
it's
not in my
not in
vocabulary.
my vocabulary. It's
No?
not even on my Rolodex. Like
You know what?
like it's one of those words to me
Yeah.
that is so out of control that it's confusing.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I bring it up.
Like I'm talking about like Dave Chappelle,
Sure.
just
I see
comedians,
the movies. Just, I was watching
whatever,
The
right?
Wood last night, and I heard it every 2 seconds. N-bomb this, N-bomb that.
It's in hip hop like crazy, so it's hard not
Yeah,
to
it
hear
is.
it. Like, so you guys don't use it. It's not a word that you use.
No,
You can play any track we got. You never hear.
What about
any
like? No,
track
I don't
we
even
got.
mean in your music though. In your day-to-day life.
No.
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 Just
Not at
wondering,
all.
because some people go both ways. It's like the reclaim thing. Like, I'm going to reclaim it. It's my word. I'm going to use it because
I don't even use the derivative of it either.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
other version of it.
Yeah.
I don't use that in my vocabulary. It's not in my vocabulary. And in the same breath, say that since we're on that, I'm not the type of guy that gets offended when somebody says it to me if they're being ignorant, because that shows that they're ignorant. That shows they got no sense.
What if
So
someone
you know
rolls
what?
up to you and they're like, said it in like, hey, what's up? And they mean it in a good way, I guess.
recognize it,
They
man.
mean it with an A. For people that know what I'm trying to say.
To me, that just shows your level of ignorance, man. That shows that you haven't learned.
I agree.
You don't have any
No, I
knowledge. You
agree.
don't know the ledge. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It's, to me, when somebody curses, this is just my opinion. I'm not going to speak for my brother. I'm going to let him say his own thing. But to me, when somebody uses that word or uses a curse word, it means that they don't have the words in their mind to express how they truly feel. And when
agree.
somebody actually uses that word, especially, somebody who's kind of gutter trash, I don't get offended by it, because I know that, karma comes back around.
True.
And you want to use that.
True.
What's going to happen to you on the flip side? So that's just my take.
I just see this more and more proliferation
that's
as
my
hip hop
take.
is
That's my
spread
take.
globally. There's all these groups that are listening and they're genuinely listening to it and they're saying, oh, this is what it is. And then they're starting to use that word. And you see, white kids, middle of America, white kids here saying it to each other, to
Yeah.
Right.
their black friends. And
it's stupid.
for me, it feels very wrong and
It's
very, very weird from the time I grew up, where it's like, no, you just don't. Like, for me, that's just a word
Well,
I would
let's
never.
put it-
So
out of my
so
vocab.
I'm shutting up.
no, it's all good.
No,
So
listen up.
just
This is big.
just to break it down, not that I completely disagree with what he's saying, but just to go on another level.
Sure.
I don't think that anybody that uses it is completely like stupid or has, I can't think of another word, so let me just call you the N-word. I don't think it's that. I think it's a vibe. I think it's a feeling. I think it's an appreciation for that person. Do I use it? Do I appreciate it? No, I don't. But I also get the level of where that person may be coming from, right? Because I've
Okay.
I've talked to some people that are actual intellects that have said, "Hey, what's up, man?"
Yeah.
Because it was the right time, the right place,
Yeah.
and that's just where it is.
But you know what, though?
Sure.
But I disagree with using it in
Yeah.
that context,
I just fu-
because
I-
because it takes it to a level of discomfort
Yeah.
and will immediately strip a person down, right? And it's like, who are you, really, right?
I agree with what you're saying, but in the same breath, I think that it's a level. It goes to show our level of our culture right now and what's being bombarded at people. The media giant in the States is throwing that word out. They're throwing that word out. They're throwing that word out. It's in mainstream media all the time. You see it in movies. You see it in this. You see it in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watched a movie the other day, and what was the name of the movie? Actually, no, I'm not even calling names. But I'm just trying to remember. I saw a scene where there was these 4 people that were Caucasian, and that word come out, that word come out, that word come out, and like it was nothing.
And this wasn't like a historical situation.
No, this was like just a movie. You know what I'm
Really?
saying?
So that's the
And
only
I
thing
was,
that I
you know-
want to tap back into based
I
upon
hear
what
what
you
you're
guys were
saying.
saying.
Yeah.
Is we live in a culture now where none of that happened. Like, I got most of my understanding about Black history through hip hop music. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
True.
Right? These guys, these youngins that are coming up, they have no understanding except for what's in school. But the biggest teacher is pop culture. Right? So everything that they're getting is cool to say. So therefore, I get the stamp of approval. Without even knowing, well, it's the truth, right? I get the stamp of approval.
yeah.
I get the, hey,
Yeah,
what's
I'm
up,
with you,
my
man.
aunt?
I'm
Hey,
with
what's up? Hey, what's up?
I
Right?
say it
And
myself.
it's crazy to be able to not understand how hurtful that is.
Exactly.
Because it's all water cooler talk, right?
Yeah.
You might be cool with it, but somebody listening to it, and all of a sudden,
Yeah,
right?
blows up, yeah.
Just like that the soccer game, right? You know, whatever the dude said, and he got fired for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So words can hurt. Words can
Yeah.
hurt your paycheck. We know that now.
Sticks and
Right?
stones.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
It's called a don't get fired moment,
Ain't,
right?
ain't no more
Yeah.
sticks. You know, hey, man, well, listen, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, that word causes people to lose their lives now.
Right.
And I mean, it has for centuries.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, the fact of the matter is, what has changed since then? You know, nothing. You know, we've apparently we evolved a bit technology-wise.
Well,
but
we've-
when it comes to social conscious-wise,
We've learned to approve a hateful word.
Yeah, exactly.
changed.
We've become comfortable with how terrible it is.
Yes.
It's
You
almost
know?
like Schadenfreude.
I
Like
mean-
we've learned to live with our captors and be like, this is cool.
Yes.
And we've learned to like be cool with it. And it's not.
That's a crazy concept.
I mean,
Not
even,
everybody, but,
even
you know, you know what I
even
mean?
the C word though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even the C word.
Yes.
Now, I took a trip to Cape Breton. I was teaching.
Now wait.
This is
I just
last
want
year.
to stop for a second. Which
Yeah.
C word are we?
The C word. They're talking about the C word. That's one thing that you'd never call a brother.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
I wasn't quite sure because in Britain I know there's a word that they use for like ladies and lady parts with a C word.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
nothing
don't
to
know.
do-
I wasn't quite sure what C word.
I
Because that's a
gotta
bad
know.
one too.
I'm talking.
But not
This is
quite.
a word that's
Yeah, no.
Do you know
I
what
think
I mean?
we
Like-
should have an inquiry into the colored home.
Yeah, that's
Historical name. I'm
Yeah,
using there.
yeah.
We should definitely have an inquiry in that because that's some serious bullshit. But that's not a word to use either.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, sorry, man. It's depend on your belief. I believe in God.
Okay.
God put you on this earth the way He decided to put you on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
If you're black, white, green, yellow, purple, turquoise, or transparent.
If you're green,
You know what I mean?
sometimes think you should go to the hospital.
If you're green, I don't know.
It's like
If you're
in the
I-
do what you
an
like.
issue.
Remember
But
kids
you know what I
running around
mean?
do what you like? They're like,
But
if
no,
your feet are
but, you know,
stinking, go
that
take a
C
bath.
word,
Like, don't
though,
do what you like.
That C
There are
word,
some things-
you know, was another word that was used to
Yes.
insult my
To
ancestors.
separate and then
You know what I'm
put
saying?
down. Yes.
So to me, as I say, I got none but love. I
Mm-hmm.
got none but love. Hey, man, I tried to start the love movement. I actually did.
Mm.
But the fact of the matter is, you know, when you talk to somebody, respect them, respect who they
Definitely,
are.
definitely.
You know, and if you don't, ask them. What would you like me to? How would you like me to talk to you?
And just because
Would you like me
there's
to say
two
to you?
roads
You
and
know?
one is well
Yeah.
paved doesn't mean you have to take the low road.
Yeah, you
like,
gotta
just
take
because
the high
everybody's
road all the
going
time.
that way doesn't mean you have to go that
I
way.
truly believe that they don't see two roads. I think there's only one path. That's the only path that they see. It's the, I just saw this this new
I'm with you,
word that's
Preach,
made
brother, preach.
that's made an emergence in L.A. It's now starting to come here. It's on fleek.
Yeah.
It's not on point anymore. It's on fleek. So now we're just going to change the way
I don't
that we
even
talk.
know what that means.
What is fleek? What?
It's the eyebrow game for girls, and now they just decided to change it. My eyebrows are on fleek. You know what I mean? So it's stupid,
It
right?
is.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
You don't even know.
What?
That's actually good.
It's a good thing. Good thing you sound new school, because man, you don't know.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing,
no,
do you?
no, not even that though. It's not even that. I actually, you know, this is what I'm talking about though. It just sounds so ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
It
You
is
know what I mean?
ludicrous.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Like,
Ludacris, by the way.
Hey, shout out, hey man, hey. Last show here was tight. Anyway,
Yeah.
fact of the matter,
He's coming
I
back
mean,
with bars too.
hey, he is.
He is.
New album's not bad. But,
But
what are you talking about?
But I'm just saying that
We'll educate.
they only know one path.
Yeah.
There isn't a two road series here. You know, we live in a generation where it's like, what do I need to do in class tomorrow? I know. I'll Google it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just get it.
Well,
right?
Hey
Right.
man,
As
this is
opposed
the
to
half,
research.
this is
There's
the
no
half
research.
generation, man.
Right.
This is half generation. Back in when we were a little younger, hey, if you didn't cash your check by Friday at 4:00, you had no money for the weekend, homie.
That's true.
There was no
Very
bank machine,
true.
and it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't no 30, 40, 50 years ago. It was just 15 years ago.
I went to
know what I'm
university
saying?
for my first degree, and we looked things up in racks.
Yeah,
and
with
pieces
cards
of
and
paper
stuff,
and Dewey
yeah.
Decimal System.
Ooh,
And I could rock that
Dewey.
Dewey Decimal
Me
System.
too.
But I took a university degree last century, and literally, and you know, things have moved very fast. And I think we hit on something where, unfortunately, like we've literally cruised through this time
Again.
But part two of many. You touched, one of you said something that I really liked here a minute ago. We've evolved I think you said we've evolved a lot of technology, but we haven't evolved mentally in some ways, I feel like. We've learned, like, basically how to say terrible words at light speed instead of thinking at light speed and going slower. We need a philosophical revolution.
We do, man.
We do not need an iPhone 7. We need to figure out how to use that to get rid of the things and fix the things that are wrong with our society.
Tell you one last thing I say.
Last word to you, then you, and then we got to bless.
This is one thing I heard.
Yeah.
Man. I heard a gentleman who come on CNN. This was a while ago. Who said, you know what? There is no technological reason, if I pronounced it wrong, I'm sorry, for racism anymore. There's no reason for that. Anybody can go find out about anybody else anytime they want. Period.
Right.
Doesn't matter what part of the planet you're on. If you want to go Google somebody or Wikipedia or whatever you want to do, you can find out about somebody. There's no reason for you not to prejudge somebody without thinking that you don't know them. Right. You can easily go find out about them.
You know why there's... Well, I like that. Over here. I don't want to cut in too much there.
No, I'm just showing it out there.
No, I like that.
Because we're on this
You know what? I feel like I said all that I need to say about that because I'm just going to keep on going.
Sure.
So you'll want to think back on a quick flashback.
Thank you
How
guys
the soul came to be so
again.
rapidly well stacked. Softly we strike savagely surrounding our prey.
where's the-
Never phased in the haze.
we
Fronts
ran out of
made.
time.
We live for the chase.
What
The
a guy.
music made. And
Look
still
at
the
this.
bond of maze. A coming up a big thumbs up like
Fonzie
Fonzie made. I
paid
paid some dues. Plant some seeds around Halley.
10 years, we rode the flow silent.
Yo, but still profiling up the nature of this beast. Keep the music straight, but conversate on a whisper, staying up too late. Now that's the name of the game. Staying too hungry, put in more work each day.
Yeah.
Damn.
Peace.